Hello.
Hi. Those last few challenges have been a lot.
Yeah, I agree, and I might be going for something a little bit easier this time.
I have just the thing. So for challenge 7, let's do something called the body part puzzle. So you know all of those bits and pieces you end up with as you crochet?
I might have one or two lying around.
You know, like the limbs and the body parts, that sort of thing. So we need to make something literally using just those pieces and unassembled creations we have lying about. So yeah, no crochet allowed. This is a no-shay challenge.
No-shay.
So there's really only one rule, and that is that you can't crochet anything new for this challenge. It all has to be existing pieces from the design process from other projects. So yeah, no-shay.
Okay, well that makes things a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. Okay, so the point of this challenge is to use all of those pieces up that otherwise you just kind of do you frog them, do you throw them away, but they're already complete. And so I have a hoard of them, and I'm pretty sure Leigh has a hoard of them too. You guys can let us know in the comments if it's a weird thing or not to just have a collection of these sorts of pieces. And I think the hardest thing about this challenge today is the fact that I'm not allowed to crochet anything at all. So that's no additional base pieces, there's no making pieces in different colours. I also think that I might have a slight unfair advantage. Okay, so I have this, and I also have this, which is all of the base pieces for an entire marigold dragon.
I might have a bit of an advantage here because of these. Being a hoarder pays off once again. However, the advantage is not quite as great as I thought it might be because given the rules that we have both agreed to, I am going to have to eliminate this bag. This bag is filled with complete amigurumi and crochet pieces, which I intended to deconstruct and reuse the materials, but I haven't gotten around to that deconstruction yet, and therefore, sadly, they are eliminated.
Now, and Leigh and I did discuss it, that anything pinned together but not yet sewn is still eligible to be dismantled and used for this project. But I also don't want to just, for example, sew the cat together and make that my solution to this problem, because I've got a whole basket of stuff here.
But I don't lack the pieces because I've still got this entire bag. And looking at this bag now, what I thought could be a potential advantage may in fact be a disadvantage because this is a lot of pieces to go through. Oh, I didn't factor that into my calculations, did I? Luckily for me though, we have 5 hours to complete this challenge in, and I'm going to bookmark the first hour maximum. I don't know if I'll need that much time, but I'm going to bookmark an hour for sorting all these pieces out. So let me grab my timer out.
Okay, I just started a new 5-hour timer. Okay, so we have our timer. And I think the only real starting point I can make for this project is just to start going through what's in this basket and seeing what pieces we have to work with. Which is probably going to involve zooming you all the way out because I don't know how else to show all of this.
I got my bag, I got my timer, and I'm just going to begin sorting these things out.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. We definitely have some pieces here. Okay, that's partially assembled, so I might disqualify anything partially assembled. I think partially sewn, that sort of thing. Oh, that's a good bag of bits. Oh my, there's dirt and crud and all kinds of stuff. Just removing anything that doesn't really count. Okay, I've come to a decision, and that is I don't think I'm going to use the marigold pieces for this. It just doesn't feel very sporting. One day, darling, one day I will assemble you. So, pieces so far. Lots of good pieces so far. Not very pretty colours.
Now, I think some of these pieces I'm going to eliminate right off the bat because they're just too big. I'm talking about this bluey down the bottom. I don't think I want to go for variegated stuff, so you can go over there. I don't really want pom-poms, I don't think, so you're going on the floor as well. My cat's happy about that, she's playing with them. Anything like this, I'm going to eliminate as well because I kind of class that as cheating. I mean, that is a pretty much complete amigurumi, and so is this. So I'm going to eliminate pieces like those. Even that one. It's funny, a lot of these pieces have got tags, little tags on them, and these are actually from a previous challenge with Complicated Knots. I'm pretty sure that was our 100 piece challenge.
Okay, so we have lots of good pieces so far, but we haven't even really made a dent yet, so let's just clear all this away. Start opening some bags. I don't think I've got enough room here. Sorting into colours, maybe I can pick a colour I like best. I've lost 15 minutes to this already. There shouldn't be any more pins in here at least. Okay, partially assembled is still disqualified, so I can take away anything that has been partially sewn. A lot of puff flowers in this, but that's good. Duplicate pieces are going to be worth their weight in gold for this project. I have one more bag to go. Okay. I think this is all the pieces I have to work with. Anything with duplicate pieces is immediately very interesting to me. I'm just talking at you behind the massive, the pile of stuff. Anything with duplicate pieces is already very interesting to me, just because I can't crochet anything. So it's going to be really hard to make anything without access to duplicate pieces. This is a trip down memory lane, I tell ya. Like, for example, I think I've got like 6 different Cerberus bodies in different colours, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that piece. I just happen to have a lot of them. But I seem to have done quite a bit of designing in this colour, so maybe I try and aim towards that. So I think I'm going to sort all of this into not just looking at colours, but looking at what I have multiple pieces of and removing things like, I've got this like half-baked goose here. That's already quite specifically what it is. I don't know what else I could possibly do with that, but at least I'll know it's there if I do decide to go back and use it. So we are just past 15 minutes in. And yeah, I'm going to start sorting these properly now that I've sort of just tipped them all out and made a mess.
I am thinking, oh my god, I even have eyes in here. But I am thinking I might set myself an additional personal challenge, and that is going to be to attempt to make whatever this project is going to be out of either blue or purple yarns, or really probably a combination of the two, actually. I've missed a couple. I can see some blues. But look how many blue pieces I have. This is blue alone, right? This bag is full of additional pieces, and then these are the purple pieces I've pulled out. I think that might cover everything I could possibly need. And if it doesn't, well, there is still this and the ones I've excluded, which are sitting on the floor at the moment. I honestly think narrowing it down a little bit like this is going to make this process easier. I mean, even this is still a bloody lot, so
I have plenty of these sorts of pieces. I have some handfuls of like little black dots. Got some little like matching nubs and things. It's like I've got plenty of stuff to sew to other stuff. I just kind of have to pick a direction. And I got plenty of base pieces too. I don't know if you guys saw all of those, but we've got like some interesting snaky shapes. I've got some baby dragon bases. Just had a full-on potato fly past. Giant blue thing. And as mentioned, a whole bunch of these like little three-headed Cerberus base things, which are a very good sturdy little shape. So I might clear some room. My goodness, I even have eyeballs in here. Just like perfectly formed eye stalks, a pair of them. Just like, what on earth is this basket? I'm going to clear some space. We're just going to scooch all this out of the way, and I'm going to bring out the sketchbook, and we're going to try and form some plans. Yeah. So we're going to pick up all the stuff that fell. There we go. Okay. Potato. Okay, so let's just like... Cleaning up after this challenge is going to be interesting. Okay, so I have plenty of body shapes like this one. I think I had two like this. Oh, there's two different sizes. This one here was because of Survivor. We also in the mix here had that cow, complete with udder. It's kind of one giant foot. It's kind of a flower. Weirdly enough, I think I've come up with a plan. So I seem to have quite a bit in this colour here. So I think I'm going to try and make some sort of like alien dog type of creature. I have two of these like Cerberus pieces, right? But I'm going to place them together so that there's kind of like a mouthpiece formed at the front. I'm going to try and sew them together as seamlessly as possible. Then I'm going to dig through, and I've got a couple of different options for like legs in there, but I think there's literally like, it shouldn't be too hard to be able to find like some kind of leg to go with it. And then even just like a single eyeball out the front. We'll see if we can find anything that works. And also it'd be funny if it'd have some sort of like extravagant tail, something to like balance out the back of it, and maybe even just like find a bunch of like little tiny nubbly pieces like this, and just like line them all the way up down the back. They have to all match color-wise though. This all has to look nice together, because like I thought that I was gonna just like go with it, but just like no, it turns out that I've got like a real issue with putting colors that look bad together. So I guess I'm a color snob. I think it's gonna work. Let the record show that I've used just over 33 minutes. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. I think I just sort of lucked out by coming up with an idea fast too. So hopefully Leigh is going just as well.
I don't even know where to start. I have no idea what I want to make, but there are some pieces which I think could work as a head/body, so I'm going to set those aside. And I'm going to have a limb pile as well. Anything that could be used for front legs, back legs, tails, you know, horns, whatever else. And then there's some that could be either or. I'm kind of leaning towards trying to make some sort of frog for no other reason than ComplicatedKnots has already made 2 frogs in this challenge, and I just like to make a frog too. So it doesn't have to be a frog, but I'm leaning towards that. I want to get in on the frog action. And just a quick time check-in. As of sorting this, we are on 4 hours and 46 minutes remaining, if I can get that without the light shining on it. We might need to get a little bit of stuffing in there. Now I need, if I have like 2 smaller pieces that I could use as legs, that would be good. I need 2 like matching pieces. I've got these 2. They could work as like front legs. I think they might be from the same prototype as the back legs I've already used. It's the same yarn. I'm pretty sure it's the same yarn. I don't remember what that prototype was though. What was this from? I mean, that could have been like early days, and I have no memory. I have no memory of that now. I think I might be onto something here. I've got things that kind of work as back legs. ones that kind of work as front legs. I just now need to figure out something to do with the head. It needs something else. I'm going to put eyes on the top. I'm thinking these two pieces, that one and that one, but it needs a little bit more going on. Maybe I need to shape the mouth somehow. What other pieces can I use for that? I'm pretty sure I want these pieces as the legs. So I think to save myself... Oh, hang on. Will they work better as legs? Okay. To save myself a little bit of frustration, I'm going to sew these on now. And I will need some yarn to do that with, because these ones don't have yarn tails attached.
Let's just start by pinning these two pieces together. See, that's the flower formation I was talking about. See, isn't it great? I don't know what I specifically want to go in the middle there. Like, I've got at least one eyeball as an option, but there might also just be something generally funnier in the mix here. So I'm just going to pin these two pieces together to start with. So we could do that sideways, or we could do that topwards. I think I like it topwards better, because then it looks like it might open up into like a vicious maw. It could just be the head of the cow, but we won't do that. Probably could start putting some pieces. Oh, golly, that's a fun tail, isn't it? It's a lot of tail. It's too much tail. It's too much tail. Got this. Could work. Could work. We've got options. We've got so many options. Oh, wow. That's just a full-on dragon overlay. Like, I could literally just make a dragon. I could make so many dragons just from the pieces I have in this box. We're not, though. That could be the front. This could be the back of the head. Don't get excited about it. Don't do it. Self-control. We need the discipline. Has been a while since I've made a dragon. By a while, I mean like 3 weeks. Okay, look, that's too big, right? We have no way of following through on the promise of the body if we do that. We could just sandwich the whole thing over this body. The body's too small. It's not proportionate. Doesn't work that way. Desperately trying to cling to my self-control. No, we're not doing it. It goes up this way. That's the front. We've made that decision. We're happy with that decision. What are we looking for next? Options to go in the middle or tails? We're just kind of looking for pieces here, really. The winner at the moment. I think most of that purple would be sandwiched away inside, so it's really just going to be the eyeball sticking out, but I still think that's probably the best choice we've got. Put that away, because it's just distracting me and tempting me. At a certain point, I'm going to have to start making choices. Okay, that's the tail from the cat, which is just not generally a bad tail piece. It's just not a good colour for this particular project. Okay, little grassy hula skirt. That's a fun feature for the back. It's an eyelid if I need one. That's kind of nubby. Nub. Finding lots of that colour purple, which is funny because that's the colour purple that's no longer available anywhere. Anyway, I'm going to keep rummaging through this. Okay, somewhere amidst the chaos, I think I found my creature. So I am going to go with this as the eyeball. I have used up just under 45 minutes. Yeah, I can't find a tail piece that I quite like, so maybe we just don't do a tail. But I am going to start by sewing our eyeball into our head. So I'm actually kind of excited. This went very, very quickly. I'm just going to start sewing some of these pieces together. Oh wait, that'll work. I forgot to say as well, I found a little bit of a scrap of yarn that I'm going to use to sew these two pieces together because I want them to be like kind of seamless. But then because I can't find a lot of other pieces in this color, except for the spotty piece, I'm going to use that color to sew the rest of the pieces on so that it's just like incorporated throughout. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing embroidery on this particular project to help incorporate things, but a little bit's going to go a long way.
I don't know how to proceed with the head, but I think I need to take a break soon. So the last thing I want to do today is I really want to hide these frills. I was hoping I could incorporate them somehow, but they're just not working for me. So I'm going to grab a thread, if I've got light blue yarn somewhere. And I'm just going to like pull them back over the top of the piece like that and sew them down. As of sewing those flaps down, I am at 3 hours and 58 minutes. So I've somehow been at this for over an hour already. I'm going to take a break now, and then when I come back tomorrow, I'm hoping to get this thing finished. I'm fairly confident I will be able to. I'm just wary of getting overconfident because the time goes so fast. If you had asked me how long I'd been doing this for, I would have said, oh, maybe, 15, 20 minutes. But I have a timer to tell me, no, it's been over an hour.
Okay, so I have, honestly, the main feature of my creature here. It's such a focal piece and such an interesting shape that it's going to do a lot of the work for me here. So basically from here, I think I'm going to play around with pinning a bunch of pieces. So I'm going to try on a couple of different legs. I definitely like this as the underside. It's slightly rounder, whereas this was kind of slightly more sloped and curved. So it kind of made for more of a back piece and a belly piece. So I'm just going to be trying to pin a whole lot of different pieces on it in a whole lot of different configurations and just see what sticks. He's so little around. That is a time check. We are an hour and 20 minutes in, so we got plenty of time. We're cool, we're calm and collected. If we do this challenge again, we should set a shorter time frame so that we get nice and stressed. In general, it is coming together. It's just like we're just missing something. So I found these like little fins from the anglerfish, and they're quite lacy and pretty. I also have these little purple spines, and I found this nice little string. Honestly, some of the Franken challenges I've done in the past are providing the bulk of what's been helpful here today. I don't know, I think we are making progress. Definitely one of the weirdest things I've made recently.
I'm just going to look to see if I have any, like, spheres. Hopefully I can find 2 spheres that are roughly the same colour and shape, because I'd like to use those for eyes. Ooh, here we go. They might work. To be honest, I was kind of hoping for a white or a cream, but I'll take that maroony colour. Well, it might have to be these, because apparently I don't have any other balls. I am ballless. So I've sewn on about 3/4 of this piece, right? But I need to add some stuffing. I don't need heaps. I just need a little bit in there because it's sitting too flat. I just need a little bit of bulk. And I think that's literally all I needed, just a little handful, and we're done.
Okay, so with much experimentation done, I've decided to configure those fins as like this little scruff down the back. We do have a little purple patch on the stomach, but other than that, I just don't think I'm going to do very much else with. I think there's a lot going on design-wise. And so like cohesiveness is going to keep being a problem, but I think I'm just going to sew it together as is. I can't imagine that much else will change. We've got a little tail on the back, I've got the angler fins. But yeah, we have pieces from a lot of different patterns here. I know technically I've met the challenge, I just need to sew it together. It feels a little plain. Don't mind me, I'm just pretending to have the kind of confidence you need to use contrast stitches. Okay, and I think that's it. So yeah, that's I've still got over 3 hours to go, but I don't really know what else I would do.
I'm going to do something that I didn't want to do, but I think I have to, because every time I look at this thing's face, all I can see it doing is this. Tucking its bottom lip in. Look at that. Every time I look at it, it is distracting me. The only piece that even sort of works for that purpose is this one. I'm hoping I don't ruin the overall look, but I can't with this. It needs a bottom lip. It's just way too distracting otherwise. And a quick time check-in, we have left 2 hours and 59 minutes. Time check-in, I have roughly 3 hours left, 2 hours 56 minutes. So that should be more than enough time. I can relax now. But this thing is what I've got thus far. It does give frog vibes, maybe alien frog vibes, but the frog vibes are still there. There's just a few more pieces I want to add. I'm going to use this purple piece as a tongue, so I'll stick that in there. And I'm debating whether or not I should add some details to the eyes. I'm thinking these little purple pieces, just like place those at the back, but I don't really like them, so I'm considering just excluding them. And then after that, all I want to do is add some safety eyes to the eye base, I suppose we're calling it. And I have just under 3 hours to do all that, so no rush here. I'll start with the tongue piece. Oh man, these eyes. Do you reckon 14mm is too big? They might be too small though. You know what, nah. I think they're just derpy enough to pass. I'll use those. So now the question is, do I want to add these pieces or not? I mean, that's not bad. Yay, nay, yay, nay. You know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'll just go for it. If I truly hate it when it's finished, I can just remove it. But I have 2 hours and 48 minutes left, so I've got a little bit of time to play around. Once my glue gun heats up and I've secured my safety eyes, my prototype puzzle will officially be complete.
Okay, so I still have just over 3 hours to go, and I don't know what else I would do with it. I feel like putting too much more embroidery on here is too transformative, and the whole point was to make it out of scrap pieces, whereas like if I stitch over and over and over it, it's going to fundamentally change the nature of what it is. But I mean, he's a good little eyeball beast. So yeah, that is my offering for this challenge. I'm hoping Leigh used a similar amount of time, because otherwise this is super awkward. I might just check in with her and see how long she took, because if she used the full 5 hours, I'll come back and we'll do some more to him. I don't know what we would do, because for now I'm happy to call him done.
And we're going to hit pause on the timer. So I have officially stopped my project with 2 hours and 34 minutes to spare. So to wrap up, here is my little alien frog. There are a couple of extra things I could do if I wanted to. Number one is to create a little lily pad with a flower and place my frog upon that. I can also give him a hat. A little beret. Unfortunately, it doesn't really sit on his head all that well. But in theory, I could give him a hat if I wanted to. And I don't think he's got one of those hat faces, unfortunately, so we might set that aside. I'll have to come up with a name, or maybe you guys can do that for me. What would you name an alien frog? Just pop that down in the comments. Maybe it's related to Hypnotoad because I just spent the last 10 minutes staring into its eyes. Hello again!
So, I have finished stitching together my, I don't know what we were calling this, the body part puzzle, the piece puzzle.
Body part puzzle, prototype puzzle.
Yeah.
I think it might help if we actually settled on a name, but it's a bit too late for that now.
The ship has sailed. So I have completed mine, and I believe you finished yours as well.
I have.
Okay, good.
Something that surprised me with this challenge is it didn't take me anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to.
No, because I know we said 5 hours, but I had mine kind of wrapped. I think it was just over or just under 2, like around that 2 hour mark.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, mine was about 2.5-ish, but I probably spent longer sorting out than I really needed to in the end. So yeah, it wasn't quite as stressful as I thought it would be.
So yeah, I'm relieved to hear you say that because like if you'd come in here and said you'd taken the full 5 hours, I was fully prepared to like end call and go back and work on mine some more. Right. So this is good. Okay, so I'll go first. I'll go first this time. So okay. I have my thing here in front of me. And this was both easier and harder than I thought it was going to be. So here he is.
Ooh.
I don't know what he is. He's some sort of like alien
to me
creature.
Yeah, that gives like fantasy, maybe sci-fi vibes. I like it, or something that could appear in like Baldur's Gate or something as an enemy.
Yeah, maybe. So
I like. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Well, I mean,
I like it.
I was looking at all the pieces, and I prototyped my pieces in really ugly colors. So it was. I very nearly just made the world's ugliest, lumpiest cushion. That was my fallback plan. But no, I think he has an appeal to him. I just don't know what he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You have to come up with a name.
I'm thinking about him like he is Edgar, but I don't know where that's come from either. So...
Edgar the blank.
Yeah, this is Edgar the blank is about right.
Edgar the blank. Well, I was kind of determined to make a frog-type creature because you've made a couple of frogs and I just wanted to get in on the frog action.
Hey, everybody frogs.
So, everybody frogs. And I can prove that with this, sort of. I have no idea what these pieces are from. Literally no idea because I have so many parts from so many projects that I can't keep track of them all. But I made a little frog type creature out of what I had. I tried to keep the colors as consistent as I could, but like you, my like prototype pieces are made out of like my worst yarn. And the eyes creep me out a little bit.
He's creepy, but he's
lesser known cousin. But yeah, that is my little frog toad thing.
He's the frog that waits for it to rain and then sits on the outside of your window ledge and just stares at you through the window.
At you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's really cute though. He's threading that needle of like, forgive me, I'm not trying to be insulting. He's ugly cute. You know what I mean?
Ugly cute? Yeah.
Yeah.
100% he's ugly cute, yeah. I just don't want him staring at me anymore. He's been sitting on my shelf staring at me for weeks, and I have to like turn him around because those eyes. I don't trust those eyes.
He lives in your house. And that brings us to the end of Challenge 7. Challenge 8, the final episode, will be available on Skein Spider around this time tomorrow, and I can't believe we're at the last one already. This is, of course, going to be the last one here on Complicated Knots, so for anybody who's been following along here, I hope that you've enjoyed it. I've had an absolute blast with it. We, of course, still have that one more episode tomorrow. Hopefully you've all been following it over there as well. I have my lizard dog Edgar thing here. Still don't know really what it is, so if you guys have any suggestions, I suggest leaving them in the comments for me, and I will read through all those and see if anything sticks. But very valuable exercise going through those old pieces and trying to sew something together. A huge thank you to my patrons, because without your ongoing support, I wouldn't be able to stop and make videos like this. But yeah, that's it for this week, and that's it for this series. So next week we'll be back to our regular content, whatever that looks like. Okay, bye!